Spokane, Washington. Before anything begins, the city holds its breath. Light settles slowly over empty streets. Buildings stand without intention. Windows reflect a sky that does not answer back. Nothing moves with purpose yet. Nothing insists on being seen. It feels complete, closed, as if everything that needed to happen already has. But stillness like this is never empty. It only hides what has already been left behind. Because even when nothing speaks, something remains. At first, it's almost nothing. A mark in the corner of the wall, a shape breaking through layers of paint, color that doesn't belong, but refuses to disappear. You could miss it. Most people do. But up close, the surface begins to fall apart. Lines overlap without permission. Paint drips like something unfinished. One mark interrupts another, then another. There is no clean beginning, no final version, only accumulation. To some, it's damage, something out of place, something to be removed. But that assumes the surface was ever neutral to begin with, because every wall already carries weight, history, decisions made by people who are no longer here. Street art doesn't interrupt silence. It reveals that it was never silent at all. Every mark begins the same way. Someone arrives, someone looks at a surface and decides it isn't finished. Not because they were asked to, not because it will last, but because leaving nothing behind feels worse. There is something instinctive in it, a refusal to disappear without a trace, even if the trace is temporary. In other cities, art is preserved, protected, given space to exist. Here it feels unstable, like it could vanish at any moment. And maybe that's what makes it honest. No guarantees, no permanence. Just the act itself. A decision made in passing that says, this place is not empty, even if no one agrees. But nothing here is meant to stay. Surfaces are reset. Paint covers what came before. Color disappears beneath something flatter, quieter, more acceptable. What once stood out becomes harder to find, then impossible, as if it was never there. But erasure doesn't restore anything. It only replaces one decision with another. One version of the city laid over the last. The question isn't what gets removed. It's who gets to decide what remains visible at all. By the time the city fills with movement, none of this feels noticeable anymore. People pass through without looking. Cars move past the same walls as if nothing has changed. From a distance, everything holds together, clean, ordered, finished. But that illusion doesn't last once you've seen it up close. Because beneath every surface, there are layers that were never meant to last, but existed anyway. Proof that someone was here, even if no one remembers them. Street art doesn't ask to be permanent. It doesn't wait to be understood. It exists briefly, then disappears, like everything else. But the act of leaving something behind, even knowing it will be erased, might be the only way anything ever resists being forgotten. And whether it stays or not, whether anyone notices it or not, the marks keep returning. Quietly, relentlessly, as if the city itself refuses to remain untouched.